All right, we're just pushing play. This is the same thing as last time. Second podcast ever. I guess you wouldn't call it a podcast. Hold up. Is this not working? Hold up. I don't even know what I'm doing. Yeah, what? This is not working, bro. I actually do not know what I'm doing. Very clearly. Play, go. Is this gonna work?
Hey, yo, is this gonna work, go?
Okay, yeah, so basically what I'm doing is I'm sitting down in a barn, which is my studio. This is where I work. This is my artist lair, if you could call it that. Let's see, is that good? I'm just looking at the framing. I'm showing you the process of an artist, like I said last time. Yeah, I'm going to sit down here and do a Q&A. That's what I'm going to do. So this is hanging. I'm trying to be like, dang it, let me put it higher, sorry. So I'm going to do a Q&A. That's what this is going to be. This channel, I don't know if I'm going to post this on my main channel or the secondary channel. I made a channel called Cardamom Cafe because my dream one day is to have a cafe. So I named the talking section, not podcast, of my channel Cardamom Cafe. So that's what this is. This is the Cardamom Cafe, where I read books of all sorts, where I have memories on the wall. Hey, if anybody can tell me what this is, whoever comments what this is first gets a shout out, because that's an OG. I've done YouTube for a long time. I guess I wouldn't say that. That's the Q&A. It was a story that I had posted on my Instagram. And I'm going to move these types of things over to Cardamom Cafe Instagram. Just a talking situation. Being able to sit down and talk, do Q&As. The last Q&A that I did, and ramble, as you know, I started this ramble on one topic, and now I'm all the way back on a Q&A I did in 2019. The last time I did a Q&A on my channel was 2019. So, like I said, it might be posted on the main or the Cardamom Cafe. I'm just going to answer the questions and that you guys asked me. So next time I do a Q&A, comment below too. I want to keep this thing going. At least I have in my mind right now. It might die tomorrow because as an artist, I can speak for myself. I've gone on these rabbit trails and said this is going to be the best thing ever, and I stop it. We all do it. Every artist does it. You start painting, boom, you stop. Everybody who doesn't have a YouTube channel, it's the same thing for you. It's like, you want to start running, you want to start eating healthy, you want to start doing something, and then you stop. You lose motivation. So YouTube's just a very public failure. But it's the same type of failure. It's more like a personal failure of motivation. So I think it would be motivating to me if people would comment and I'd be responding to real humans. That's been one of the problems with YouTube is I travel the world, make nice videos, but I'm alone. Traveling with friends is always better. I have met a lot of my friends on the road, but interacting with people that watch videos, the videos, like my videos, people that say, hey, I like your videos. Your videos have caused me to use kinetic force to move my body and go somewhere. If I cause that, the potential energy to boop, and push somebody's motivation over the edge to do something interesting, that is the coolest part. But then meeting you guys in person can't always happen. That's the best part. But comment below and I'll respond to your questions. So I'm just going to sit down here. Not really much context for what's going on. In the episode before, I talked about kind of my life, and as a videographer, I was online very, very heavily for a few years, and then people said, you drop off the map. If you go off social media, people assume that, you died some sort of death or there's a problem in your life. That's not always the case. Sometimes that does happen, but sometimes you're just like, hi, I want to live like a normal human. I don't want to have a camera in my face, the camera that I choose to put in my own face. You know what I mean? It's like your own paparazzi. It's like, I'm eating breakfast. It's like, bro, can you stop? I started feeling that way, so I got offline for a while, and now certain forms of content like this, where I just sit down, is a little bit better because it's like, oh, you sit down, you talk, and then it's over after an hour. You don't have to keep carrying your camera around to vlog, Anyways, we're experimenting here. Let's just answer these questions, and then whatever comes to my brain, we will talk about that as well. Remember, whoever can tell me this gets first prize. Whoever can tell me what that is gets third prize. And whoever can guess who that is in the painting, I don't know. That's impossible. If you get that, you get the biggest shout out. So 3 shout outs coming next video, depending on the comments. Nobody might comment. You never know. So here we go. The Q&A, as I posted it a few days ago on my Instagram, Blah, 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 blah. By the way, Instagram. If you guys know me from YouTube way back in the day, I had an Instagram. I did delete it because, as we all know, it's very addicting. And sometimes your willpower isn't strong enough. So I literally deleted my account. I think I had 77,000 followers from YouTube, from people that were in India, Indonesia, Germany, the places that I had lived and made videos. I gained subscribers there, followers. And this was before you could earn revenue on Instagram. This was when like reels weren't even really a thing. I deleted it in 2019. So if I would have kept it, it would have been a good source of income. But I'm glad I did it because I needed the break, kind of like I needed the break from main YouTube. Now I'm coming back just talking type thing. It's like we all need to grow. I'm 32, by the way. So y'all can understand life is like this. It's not like, obviously. We wish it was, but it's not like that. So let's get to the Q&A. First things first. What's your favorite city in Germany? That's the first question. So funny. I am super, it's cool. I get really happy when I see comments, even today in 2025, from people that watched my videos in 2017. That makes me stoked. It makes me think, wow, like those videos did do something, right? They caused movement in the world of people's lives, right? Like they watch my videos and people are still commenting. So that's cool. What's your favorite German city? I always will be loyal to Stuttgart. Stuttgart, by the way, a hint. Stuttgart. This is Stuttgart. I lived in Stuttgart for about a year, but it was the first German city that I ever lived in. I've lived in a few other German cities, including Marburg, including Frankfurt part-time, I've stayed over in Darmstadt. But the top cities that I love, number one, Stuttgart. I love the people. The place is beautiful. If you haven't been to Stuttgart, you got to go. The surrounding area, Esslingen, all these small towns in Baden-Württemberg, so dope. Good food. Stuttgart is number one. Mein Heimat, mein deutsche Heimat ist Stuttgart. Und mein Deutsch ist besser jetzt. Ich bin, üben ein bisschen. But Stuttgart, and then number two has got to be Hamburg. Hamburg. If Stuttgart wasn't my hometown, I'd say Hamburg because Hamburg is the most similar German city to where I'm from in Los Angeles. If you come to Los Angeles, you'll go to any of these beaches and it will be similar to Hamburg. I relate it to San Diego. Of course, it's not the exact same, but it is a harbor. There are large cruise liners and ships carrying, I don't even know how many, hundreds of crates that you see on trains and trucks all over the world. But Hamburg is a major port. So is Los Angeles, and so is San Diego. So I do love Hamburg. I love the water. I grew up, like I said, down the street from the beach. We used to go down there. I would take my truck in high school, go with friends. It's 15, 20 minutes away, and you're on the beach. You can surf and all that type of stuff. So also, I'm going to be trying to be aware with how I move my body because podcasting is totally different than like being able to cut everything. And I'm not even really paying attention to what I look like because I'm just a very, very small person in the side of the screen. So anyways, yeah, to answer the question, long story short, Stuttgart, Hamburg, Marburg. Ich liebe Marburg. Marburg ist die beste. Marburg. Die deutsche Leute kennen this. You guys know this joke. Marburg. If you can tell me where that joke's from, you're also an OG. Marburg. Great city. Any plans to visit Indonesia again? This is the next question. But not Bali or Jakarta this time, of course. I have a good friend. Shout out Juicy. He is currently in Australia. And he lives in Bali. He's a Balinesian kid. I met him. He was on one of my old videos. We are planning to hang out this year, of course. Going back to Bali first. Because as an international traveler, everybody flies into Denpasar. It's the only, I think, international airport. No, Jakarta is an international airport too. But it's usually the cheapest, I would say. Jakarta or Denpasar. But Denpasar is in Bali, which is more near like tropical islands. So I would probably fly there. And then with Juicy, we were going to go canoeing around Indonesia for 1,000 days. I'm just kidding. But we're going to do some cool stuff. Favorite MLB, NFL, and NBA team? NBA, Lakers. I'm down the street. Kobe was the era when I was a kid. So everybody would be shooting the baskets, Kobe. So I like the Lakers. MLB, I mean, Angels and Dodgers, if you're from Southern California, people are able to be Angels or Dodgers fans. It's kind of weird. Germans wouldn't understand because, like, if you're from KSC or Karlsruhe and you're rooting for Stuttgart, it's like you can't do it. But in America, I don't know. The sports culture is so commercialized. It's not really, like, deep into the history of the city. In Germany, you got soccer fans that are thinking about, like, kings and queens and like deals that like the jester from Stuttgart did to double cross them. I'm not even kidding. It's not that crazy for most people, but like the roots of the hatred are in warfare. And actually, and it's crazy to think about because America wasn't even in existence when these warring, what would you call them? Like city states or something back in the day, like 1400s, Germany was doing their thing. And these soccer fan cultures are in part carrying on a little bit of that tradition of like, yo, this is more than just a sport. In America, it's not really like that. There's very few people that you find that are saying it's more than just a sport. So you're in Los Angeles. If I wear a Dodgers hat in my city here, which is not Los Angeles County, I'm about 45 minutes by car away. But if I wear the hat, it doesn't matter. So what I was going to say, long story short, like I said, I like to tell stories. Podcast, great. NFL, MLB, Dodgers, Angels. I like them both. If either of them won the World Series, I'd be really happy. The Angels won the World Series when I was 13 or something. 2000, when was it? 2002. That was way back. I was 10. They won the World Series, so that was dope. And then the Dodgers won the World Series. I was going to say yesterday, which it was basically yesterday. This year, they won it this year, and I'm happy for them too. It's super cool because they're both technically from Southern California. America's so big, people in Germany don't understand as well, or Indonesia, or we got 3,000 miles of roads. There's 300 million people here. It's like multiple countries amalgamated into one, you know? So like you end up rooting for like your state team, not your city team. In Germany, the country is probably the size of like Texas, smaller than Texas. That's only one state, you know? So it's like you divide it up and you're like, all right, we're from here. We say the same thing, but it's like on bigger chunks. It's like, yeah, we're from California or we're from New York. You ever see those videos on TikTok where it's like New York versus California? That's why, you know, they don't really do like Orange County versus Los Angeles, you know? That would be like Stuttgart, Karlsruhe, but it's just really big. Very interesting facts. That's why I like traveling and also sharing information because the more information you learn, the more interesting the world gets. That's just what I see. People ask me, are you still a Christian? Yes. And I didn't even know this question was here. It's not proof. I do read the Bible, you know? I try to read the Bible and understand it. I would consider myself a Christian. To answer that question, yes, I would. It's been a journey. I think people that have seen my stuff, you've seen me speak about my Christian faith even back in 2017, even before that. That's what people don't know either. This is good for podcasts. People that watch my videos in Germany think that I became a Christian in Germany. It's not true. I was a Christian way before. And there's videos on my channels of me talking about, I have multiple channels. I have multiple channels. There's videos on other channels and my main channel. If you just go back, just click on my channel, go to my main page and click latest or last videos or like oldest, and it will go like 10 years back. I was talking about Christianity then, before I even like blew up, quote unquote, in Germany, you know? So what are your plans for the future? Dude, that is currently playing out as we speak. Right now I'm doing a podcast and I'm planning on finishing these questions. But as far as going on for the future, doing the best that I can to stay on the straight and narrow path, I would say. And the straight and narrow path, people may argue, is different for everybody, but I know what it is for me, and I'm attempting in my best way to go in that direction. Do you have any travel vlogs planned, like Southeast Asia trips? Thanks. Great question. Last time I was in Asia was actually very recently. It was in December 2024, not 6 months ago. It was about 6 months ago. It was great. I was in Thailand and Vietnam with my dad. Vietnam slept on. Like, people need to visit Vietnam. I would love for more people to visit Hanoi. Hanoi was a beautiful city. And, of course, the experience, the food, everything. And the prices were very cheap, very reasonable for somebody that is not balling on an extreme excess. You know what I mean? So it was great. I loved it. Trips not planned right now, but I am looking. It is June. July, August, September is a great time to travel to a lot of places. Europe, and Southeast Asia, of course, too. So, yeah, I'm planning. India, Indonesia. I would say at top of my list right now is going to be, as far as, like, probable places that I will go, right now, at the end of this year, sorry, I don't know if that's annoying in the ASMR. I don't know. That's nasty. I don't know if it's, what am I saying? I lost my train of thought. And I'm going to get back on it with this. Bali, Thailand, India are probably the top 3 that I would go out and see now because I have friends there. There are multiple friends in those countries that are traveling currently. There's a kid, shout out Ryan. What's good? What's good? I was going to say what's Gucci and what's good at the same time. What's good? What's good, Ryan? That's how Portuguese people say good. Good. Das is very good. Also, I speak multiple languages, which is cool. I don't know if that's inspiring to anybody. If you guys learn German, like I have been practicing my German. I know that you guys have seen. I talk as if everybody knows. I used to practice German and post it online, and I kind of stopped. And some people were actually upset at me. They were like, "You always post videos just to get views, and you're never actually good at German." And it's like, okay, dude, you don't know my life. All right, maybe I didn't have time to practice German 5 times today, and I don't live in Germany. So it's all right. I don't judge it for it, but I got better, so you can hear me here. I'm gonna say something, and if you're German, you'll know what I said. So, für die deutsche Leute, alles verstanden, aber wenn eine Englisch Person, eine amerikanisch Leute mir hören jetzt, verstanden nicht. Und das ist sehr, sehr lustig, weil das ist lustig, yeah. So if you're German, you knew what I said. If you don't, you gotta learn. Let's see. What did they say? Vlogs planned. Yeah, I was going to say this. I have a live streaming backpack, a live streaming backpack that I'm going to get out and start doing live stuff. So if I'm out in Bali, on the beach, on a jet ski, on a scooter, eating bananas with my friends, live stream. Imagine, hey guys, what's up? It's like this. Imagine if there was a video and like it came live on my channel and it was just me in a random city, state, country. It's like kind of like I Show Speed, if you guys know him. He has done a very good job traveling the world and doing interesting things in those places. So imagine if every week it was like you didn't know. And I say, on Sunday, we're going live. Boom. You don't know where I am. And I say, what up, guys? I'm in Germany live right now. We're in Munich. We're going to go around the city, and then we're going to go down to Neuschwanstein Castle in the Alps. We're going to go skiing, whatever. Like, imagine if that was filmed live. I feel like that might be a cool vibe. Anyway, someone said, give me one deep life advice, please. Deep life advice. The vision that you see in your mind that is probably the ideal thing to happen to you, including the one that involves your own, I don't know, like physical exertion, because the perfect life doesn't involve the absence of work. But if you have a vision of your life that you know that you can work to improve, and that's a vision that you enjoy thinking about, then I would say you should improve that and go towards that each and every day in small increments. And eventually you will see more clearly as to whether you want to continue in that direction or if you want to pivot. But most likely it'll grow like a tree and you'll become something along the lines of what you thought you should pursue. That's deep, right? Okay. There you go. I was thinking about that today. When are you coming back to India? That's a good question. Shout out Div, the homie. He helped me out editing once. And he's from Agra. I think he's from Agra, which is dope. Imagine this. Imagine you're from the town that the Taj Mahal is just like sitting in. It's kind of crazy, right? It's kind of like me being from LA and the Hollywood sign is right there. Everybody's like, dude, the Hollywood sign. That's how I think of India right now. I'm like, dude, if I lived by the Taj Mahal, that'd be insane. So Div lives there. Which book are you reading currently? Great question. This is the Bible. And then I have a dictionary. I love the dictionary. It's a book. All right. It's not a storyline, but there are storylines that you can find in books or dictionaries. I would say that's a good a reader's, like a nerdy fact, a nerdy life advice would be, if you want to find a book to read, open the dictionary, find a word that's interesting to you, and then pick a book based on that word, all right? Don't ask me how I do it, just do it. It's really cool. You like look it up. I can do it right now in front of you if you want, right? Just so you guys know how to do it. It's not that hard. It's pretty cool. It's not that hard. I'd like to be a teacher, by the way. So this is why I'm like talking like a teacher. I'd like to be a teacher. Oh, right here. I just learned something very interesting today. I opened the dictionary to the SC because I was trying to find the word science. And science, by the way, is a Latin word that means knowledge. It doesn't mean like science as we are taught in school. It's not just laboratory protons, electrons. It's the knowledge of. So the science of fashion is a science, right? The knowledge of fashion, which now we would just call fashion. We kind of like, it was an add-on to the beginning of something that you could know, like the science of woodworking, right? I learned that today. For example, now I can look up a book about science and the history of that word maybe. There might be a word. There's definitely a book about the history of that word because that word has impacted the entire history of the world. So anyways, another one that I did. Sorry. You open this book and I found, oh yeah, that was the story. My train of thought. While I was looking for the word science, I came across the fact that there's a lot of English words that begin with S-C-H, right? Like sh or school. And what I came to realize is that the English words that start with S-C-H, are a majority German words. The majority of the words, like legitimately 80% of English words that start in S-C-H are German, borrowed, inspired, whatever you want to call it, words. They're German words. Some of them are directly German words. Like, for example, not SCH, but kindergarten is a German word. Literally, we say kindergarten. It's a German word. It's not even an English word. But the SCH have the same thing, and I'm not thinking about it. Like schnauzer or something. Literally a German word. And we use it. That's an interesting fact. Now, if I want to read a book on the history of the English or German language, there you go. Before I talked about the dictionary, we weren't even thinking about the history of the German language. So what I'm saying is it's an idea book. Like, this is just a book of ideas. Just, like, think of a word. Okay, ready? We can do it right now. And then I got to end this podcast because I got to go do stuff, and I got to answer all these questions, too. Book that I'm currently reading, what's a good one to recommend? Frankenstein. I am reading that because I didn't answer the book. It's a book, but the dictionary is a book, but it's more an idea book to get you to read another book. But I am reading Frankenstein. Mary Shelley is a genius. She wrote Frankenstein at around 18 years old. If you guys don't know the story, the book Frankenstein, I'm not sure what you guys call it in German or Indonesian or Indian or other languages, but in English, Frankenstein, obviously, I think it has worldwide fame. And that is a book about Victor Frankenstein, a scientist, I believe, is German-Swiss. I think a German-Swiss scientist, legitimately. Victor Frankenstein. And he creates AI, basically. It's crazy. It's like happening now. But that's the book I'm reading. And Frankenstein is often attributed to the name of the monster, but it's not true. It's Victor Frankenstein is the name of the scientist. Scientist. There you go. There's the word. His science was, I think he was like a physicist or something. He might have been a lawyer. I don't know. You got to read the book. And then he came upon the idea of experimentation to liven dead organisms somehow. And then he basically like created this monster that ended up destroying his life. And that's the exact plot that we're in right now with AI. It's creepy, right? Any travel plans for the year? That's the last question. Yes. Definitely travel plans. No tickets bought. Ideas in the mind. Bali, India. Or Indonesia, India. Sri Lanka is great. Thailand. Somewhere in Southeast Asia. Let's just say this. By the end of the year, I'd love to go to Southeast Asia, Europe, on the way back, see my friends, and then maybe bus down to Brazil. You know, I'll talk some Portuguese. I speak a little Portuguese too. Let's see if I can get something. If there's any Brazilians here. Quando eu falo português, você. I was trying to say only, but I got the German word. Nur. Nur você. I'm going to say like only you. Nur você entende me. Só você. All right. Yeah. If you're Portuguese, you know what I said. Anyways, travel plans. Yeah, we're done with that. Last thing I was going to do is just a random thing. So I just looked up Dalmatian, opened the dictionary, Dalmatian. Fun fact, cool fact. It would lead you to a book if you're interested in the word. Dalmatian is a place. Dalmatia is a place in Croatia. If you're Croatian, you'll know that. And Dalmatian, however you pronounce it, is a dog that has spots on it. If you know, 101 Dalmatians, famous Disney movie. That's how most people know Dalmatians in America. And I didn't know that the name Dalmatian came from Croatia until a few years ago when I visited Croatia. So that's great. Dictionary's great. Thanks for the Q&A. It was unplanned, sporadic, and I hope interesting. Maybe it would just be like a little like, yeah, it is what it is, basically. So thanks for listening. Boom, baby, let's go. Comment below. And the next time I'll answer your questions in order. Where is this from? Who is that? 3 shout-outs coming next video if people comment. Otherwise, enjoy your life. Continue on. The advice that I gave is actually good for everybody. Have a vision of a good life that you imagine for yourself, one that also involves hard effort, but that you can see a way through the effort and make small efforts every day. And eventually, the metaphor is so true that it's like, it shouldn't be cliche. You do walk down the path of life, health, finances, whatever. Like, the vision is, oh, you want this. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Small steps. That's the advice. I've been doing that. Have I always been successful? Nah. The video cut out, it's a sign. Bye.